Last week in Crandon, Evan MacFarlane skipped away and won by over 10 seconds as Kieran Liflander ran into trouble not only in his heat race, but also in the semifinal. The South Carolinian missed the feature as a result. He faces a massive points deficit as we head to the second round of the Endurance Cup. Will Kieran be able to take the fight to Evan? We'll find out together over the next hour as the Endurance Cup concludes today and the Navarra Grand Prix is next. Our venue for today is the virtual Navarra circuit. Built in 2010 and located in northern Spain, Navarra features multiple layouts with the medium configuration offering a balanced 1.6-mile track, perfect for competitive racing. This layout incorporates 8 corners, combining fast straights with technical corners like the sweeping Turn 5 and the tricky Turn 6 hairpin, which challenge both car handling and driver precision. Navarra has hosted a variety of motorsport events, including GT and Touring Car Series, and its modern design and versatile layout make it a standout circuit for testing driver skill in a variety of disciplines. In NASA Rallycross, our format is as follows. We are finishing open practice now, which leads us into a 3-lap single-car qualifying that splits the field equally into 5-lap heat races. The top 2 will transfer to the feature automatically. The winner will get 3 bonus points, and the runner-up will get 2. The rest of our drivers sent to the semifinal, also 5 laps. The top 2 will transfer to the feature, and the winner will receive a bonus point. This sets the grid for our 10-lap feature race, where the points are awarded and trophies are handed out as the 31st season of the NASA Rallycross Challenge continues today live on the Automotive Sports Network. With Bryan Sawyer in the production truck and also next to me in the commentary box, my name is Josh Mertz as we welcome you to the first running of the Navarra Grand Prix. The NASA Rallycross Challenge is brought to you by Overwatch Specialty Service. The only thing more unique than your problem is our solution. For more information, visit osscenter.com. Thank you, Rob Hartland, for your continued support of NASA Sim Racing. Cameras all season on ASN, brought to you by Whiplash SimCams. Be sure to check them out at facebook.com/WSimCams. And thank you, Andrew Cardinale IV, for your camera support. And finally, the intro music for the NASA World feed produced by Alex Zabetti. Mr. Bryan Sawyer. Evan has grown his points lead while Kieran faltered this time in Crandon when he crashed in the heat in the semifinal. Endurance Cup concludes today. Kieran needs no mistakes to avoid falling further behind in the championship. How are you, and what are your thoughts?
Hey, Josh, how you doing? Yeah, Kieran needs to be absolutely perfect tonight. And from what we've seen this week, we've seen some pretty intense racing, and we've seen some pretty calm racing. So I think Kieran here is looking for another calm night where he could just get out front and run, and maybe hope for a little chaos behind him. If he wants any chance of winning this endurance champion, he needs Evan to have a terrible night.
Well, didn't he have that on Sunday? Hate to bring up the fresh wounds. When you had the issues in the lights race, I was nowhere to be found pace-wise. He snuck his way after an equally disappointing race at Crandon in lights and won that Endurance Cup. So we never know what will happen. And we're going to take a look at the Drivers' Championship entering Round 8 here in Navarra, and then we'll answer the question as to why we're racing rallycross cars on an asphalt road course. Evan MacFarlane, Kieran Liflander, 151, 134. Remember, these points are a little bit weird because the way our software works, it's trying to score these as the Endurance Cup. It's all confusing, so kind of take these with a grain of salt. Yuko Pakala, Palacio Blanche, Darnell, Kirtley, Rakowski, Sotens, Heskinen. You can take a look at the top 10 there. In the Constructors' Championship, it's been TWR Subi Squad at the top of the table for most of the season. Unofficially, I want to say that they're going to be able to clinch after today, at least after Barcelona next week. Kieran Liflander racing no control as we take a look down the order. And the Manufacturers' Championship, Subaru, Ford, and Volkswagen. And we don't have to take a look at the points, but we will. So, some programming notes before we head to qualifying. And NASA Rallycross Futures and Lights will be tomorrow in Barcelona, so still in Spain. For round 9 of the championship on the 27th, back to a regular Rallycross layout, 8 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Eastern. I believe you're going to have Josh Darnell and Ethan Halsey for those two shows. Monday, the 28th, NASA Rallycross Contenders, also in Barcelona, 9 p.m. Eastern. You'll have Bryan, Sawyer, Justin Robichaux. Torque Sports Car Series in Le Mans on Thursday. Halloween, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. I think you're going to have Bryan, Sawyer, and Cody Erdman for that. I'll publicly say again, thank you, Cody, for filling in for me on that one. And our next round, the penultimate round of the 31st season of the Overwatch Specialty Service NASA Rallycross Challenge, will be in Barcelona next Saturday, 2 p.m. Eastern. And you will have Bryan Sawyer and myself, Josh Mertz, for that. So, if you're new to the NASA Rallycross Challenge, as we get ready for qualifying, and you're looking at this, and you're like, what the hell? Why are we racing on an asphalt road course? Well, the Endurance Cup used to be called Area 52 Designs for Cody Erdman's design ventures, changed to Velocity Pixels. We used to run the dirt road courses back on NASCAR Racing 2003 to pay homage to, obviously, stage rallies. We adapted this to one road course, asphalt road course race a season to pay homage to some tarmac rallies, as NASA Rallycross, of course, doing things a little bit different with that and with the two jokers in the feature on the Rallycross track. So the way these races are scored, last week and this week will combine, and basically a mini championship that scores as one individual race. And that's why I was mentioning, Bryan, points are going to be a little bit iffy until the end of this week.
Yeah, the points you saw tonight are assuming the championship is over. And basically where everybody finished last week is where the points are. But we'll see a little shake-up tonight, because everybody will probably be in a different spot. And we'll see what happens. Minimal movement, but we'll be able to tell, really, where everybody is for the season after tonight concludes.
First car on track was Jess Rakowski in the 999, followed by Kieran Liflander, followed by Zach Blanche. Interesting story for Blanche in Australia. It's like 3 in the morning over there, so I want to give him kudos again for hanging out with us, but you're supposed to file an entry blank and confirm your intent to race. He wasn't on our list, and I said, well, normally we can't let you race, but I'm not going to let you wake up at 3 a.m. just to go back to sleep. So Zach Blanche made a 13th car this evening. So we will have 3 heats as we begin the qualifying run. And Bryan, you were much quicker than me on this track. So pick a car, go on board, and take us around here in Navarra.
We're going to go on board the People's Champ. We're going to go find Josh Darnell, wherever he is. He's coming into turns 1, 2, and 3 here. You have to be so light on the brake through this area. If you over brake, you're going to get the car upset. The track is so uneven, and these cars are not used to it. Coming up to turn 4 or 5, yeah, that's 4. You can cut here a little bit on 4 and 5 and get away with it. The sim won't penalize you or anything. A little too much, you'll get a slowdown. He's slowing down for, I think he got a slowdown there for something. But Josh, you're supposed to finish the whole lap when I'm talking about it. Turn 6 here, this is where you're going to see most of the passing tonight. A lot of people are going to throw it up on the inside and try and get the run, to hold the inside or the outside through turn 7 here, and then get the run on the final turn. Final turn, you'll also see a lot of over-unders trying to go wide and get a run. If you get a good enough run, you're going to be passing the car in front of you by the end of the straight here.
I want to cap that off by saying, if you want to watch some of the best content that NASA Rallycross has had, if I had to pick one specific, real quick, MacFarlane crosses the line to begin his run. Let's focus on the defending champion real quick. If you wanted to pick a race in the recent history that is consistent action, I hate to discredit my Supercar World Championship drivers, but Bryan, that Futures final was incredible. And did Evan get us off track in the one?
Evan might
he
have
did
off track right there. Yes, he did.
Ever so slightly.
Josh,
But
not just the final. That whole Futures race here was intense. Every race had people throwing it in, just making incredible passes.
And Tom Grady made a 3-wide pass to take the lead through the middle off the final corner, and then drove off the track and crashed into people in turn 1. It was just that topsy-turvy. Not to bring up fresh wounds again for your teammate.
But, it's okay. We also saw Matt Grove and Jake Robichaux just throw it, make a turn go 3 wide when it was really supposed to be 1, and both of them got past my other driver, Eric. It was Eric was congratulations, but screw you guys at the end of that one.
So let's take a look at Kieran Liflander real quick, as we are actually in car number 20. Entering the final corner, locks up in the 20. He's currently sitting fastest at a 57.061 in the 20 across the line to end the qualifying run. 57.297. Where is Evan? Evan, I think, is going to be completing his first lap, but remember, it won't count because he got a slowdown or an off track for the double defending world champion in car number 1 across the line to begin the second lap of his qualifying run. And he's up by a decent amount of points. Obviously, we talked about he won last week in Wisconsin.
Good. Upsetting
in the young Californian. No issues on the curb. Josh Darnell the fourth at a 57.949 for the contenders champion-elect in the 0.29. So tricky to get this corner right, turn 5, especially in the supercar. You don't have to lift in the light, but you have to lift in the supercars down to turn 6, brake early. It feels like you brake so too early in these cars. But if you brake later, you're off into the runoff. Final couple of corners, a little bit wide. He's going to have to claw it back to the apex in the final corner. Missed that one too, Bryan. And off the final corner comes the double defending champion. What will happen for the kid from California across the line? 57.250. He's a quarter of a second down with 1 lap left.
Yeah, you can see on some of these closer cameras, you can watch.
Oh, and he's off.
That's oof.
It's over.
That's it.
Was it?
Him. That was off.
I don't know.
I got the incident pulled up on my side. I got the Evan MacFarlane 1X. Yep.
So we'll just have to
watch on board for his run.
He's still going to drive to see if maybe it didn't count on his end, even though you just said it did. I don't know. It's such a mental game. You get so upset, so in the zone.
Race control sent me the incident, so
we'll see.
Race control generally doesn't lie to me. Except Barney's the only one that lies to us.
Barney lied to us on Thursday. Evan gave it up. That's it. So that's it for qualifying for the Navarra Grand Prix. And Kieran Liflander on pole.
We've seen historically through this whole week that P2 shooting the inside. If Evan wins his heat, like I assume he will, starting P2 is pretty good if you can get the jump and hold off P1 on the outside, because you do get the inside of turns 1, 2, and 3.
Grid for Heat 1. Kieran Liflander, Robbie Kirtley, Yuko Pakala, Devin Hughes, and the returning Chris Wetz. And the obligatory Chris Wetz has ran a race at least once in all 31 seasons of the NASA Rallycross Challenge, dating back to July of 2012. Good to see the man from Texas back on the grid. He was, but it's been a while. It's been a while. No Kirtley. Green flag for Heat 1.
Kirtley was in. He fell right out of the session.
Oh, side by side off the line. Wetz and Hughes. No contest for Liflander. Down to the first corner. Wetz on the outside. Hughes on the inside. Underfunded versus JC Simsport. Off the track goes Pakala in the 92. And Hughes holds the spot on corner exit of turn 3. Kirtley on track, exiting the pit lane now in the 0.24 for no control.
That's going to be awful. I'd rather my whole sim just completely crash and say you're done for the night than come back moments later.
You know what? Oh, did Pakala get a slowdown in the 92? I think he did through turn 2. And he's got to serve it. He loses the spot to Hughes. I'll tell you what, maybe Robbie had a Q setup in with not enough fuel. Didn't realize it until it was too late.
He definitely could have had that, yeah.
Because what sucks is as soon as you grid once, it classifies you as on the grid. So if you get off and everybody else grids, it's over. That's what happened.
I've made that mistake enough times, Josh, to where when I build a Q set, it's a Q and heat set. I just say, the extra 2 pounds to make it for the full 5 laps is plenty. It's not going to make that much of a difference.
I actually, Inside Baseball, ran the qualifying classified setup for this car, the TWR setup, in the heat race. So I didn't make that same mistake as well. Because it's happened to me this season. Kieran Liflander way out front. We're going to keep an eye on this battle between Hughes and Wetz for the transfer. And if something goes wrong, like I always say, Pakala's right there to capitalize. And the 92 deep on the brakes is the Finn.
He's not going to be afraid to make it. I mean, you'll see some drivers who are a little too nice here. Give up. on throwing in the pass, but turn 6 is really where if you're not going to make it through 1 or basically 3, 6 is pretty much your only other opportunity to really try and make it stick. Pakala, definitely one of the braver ones. He'll send it in. He's looking here even.
Turn 1, 2, 3. Really one fluid motion, one fluid use of the brakes, like you had said earlier on. Through 4, through 5. We saw Calamity. Saw Calamity on this short straight between, I think it was Zach Goddard and Blake Smith in the Futures race. And they came together. Massive accident. As Liflander still leads this battle for third now. Still raging on as well. And so much entertainment has been had this season in NASA Rallycross, and tentatively 2025A starting in March. So nasasimracing.com for any and all information there. So we take 2 laps to go. Liflander 5.5 seconds up the road from Devin Hughes. And it's a lot like Crandon. You race the track here with the endurance races.
Yeah, through this whole first sector, you shouldn't be focusing on your opponent. You should just be focusing on your braking points. I hear somebody going off back here. It is Robbie Kirtley, way off the track.
And Kirtley,
he's just running a drift session now. He's having
the
fun.
The original name of these were called the Gymkhana rounds, and Robbie Kirtley making sure that somebody is doing some Gymkhana in NASA Rallycross today. He's going way off the track. I'm taking a look off monitor. This battle for third, like we say every week, is crucial because this will give you the better grid spot for the semifinal later on. So Wetz and Pakala. Pakala looks to the inside. Liflander takes the white flag. Wetz closes the door. Last time around, they were equal on lap times. Hughes was half a second up. Just for context, Kieran Liflander, 57.728 for the South Carolinian. As Wetz, very squirrely in turn 2. So is Pakala. Pakala off the track. I don't know if that's going to count as a slowdown in the 92.
He gave it a 1X, but there's definitely a... like Robbie went off the track again. I think.
Oh, Wetz clips the grass. Runs it wide in the 71. Here comes Pakala looking driver's left. Now driver's right. Braking early, deep on the brakes goes Pakala. Don't outbrake himself, which he does not. Makes the corner and makes the move.
Yeah, it's extremely hard to go that fast through that corner and brake.
Forgot about the race leader. Kieran Liflander wins Heat 1, uncontested. Pole position in Navarra for the second place man in points. As Devin Hughes will transfer, best of the rest, Pakala, Wetz, and Kirtley to the semifinal.
You know, Josh, maybe if you tried to stay within camera shot, you get a little more screen time. Just runs away from the camera.
8.2 seconds ahead of the next closest car. Crazy, crazy stuff. Heat 2 in Navarra. Evan MacFarlane, Klaus Kreutzer, Jess Rakowski, and Marcus Indrek-Simmer in car number 4.
You should have
4
an excellent
cars
battle for the rest.
for Heat 2.
The transfer.
Green flag. Off the line. Clean start for everybody. Down to the first corner. Single file. MacFarlane, Kreutzer, Rakowski, and Simmer. And I do agree that this transfer battle is going to be very spicy, unless MacFarlane, going way off the track in car number 1, opens the door for Kreutzer. Is that going to be a slowdown? It is for the double defending champion. He will have to serve this, obviously. When will he serve it? Will it be down the backstretch? Take him into a transfer spot. Braking in turn 5. Getting out of the way. And now Evan on the back foot in third, Bryan. Klaus Kreutzer leads. Simmer to the inside. Can't make the spot. Rakowski clips the curb. Now do we see Evan slice through this field? These 3 points, super important.
Didn't it just happen that Klaus in what race did this happen to Klaus in too? Goddard went wide in the futures and just gave him the position. Was it this track also?
Inside. They touch on corner exit. Did MacFarlane and Rakowski. Door banging, side drafting down the front straightaway. MacFarlane edges ahead. Nearly contact into turn 1. Rakowski way off the track, locks up in the 999. Comes back on, no issue. but MacFarlane up to the transfer. Simmer to the inside of Rakowski. Best of the rest spot goes to the Estonian. I do recall it was at some point during the Futures race where that happened, Bryan, yes.
Yeah, Goddard ran way wide and gave it to Klaus. So Klaus just having good luck here this week. I mean, definitely not as fast as Kieran historically, but Evan historically, but definitely has put himself in two great positions this week. Just ready to take it when he's ready to take the opportunity when it's there.
As Klaus Kreutzer making first season in the NASA Rallycross Challenge, showing impressive pace in the 77, but he's got double defending drivers champion Evan MacFarlane all over the rear wing of the 77. No pressure.
Battle for P3 is not over.
Simmer and Rakowski. I think Simmer might have gotten a slowdown. He didn't, but he just gave it up. Kreutzer sets fastest lap, 58.8. And they swap positions. They're both off the road in the 77 and the 1. Here comes MacFarlane. Kreutzer has a slowdown now. Kreutzer will let MacFarlane through. And will this put Kreutzer back? Kreutzer clears it in the 77. So we still focus on the battle for the best of the rest. Simmer behind Rakowski. Klaus is hanging with Evan here, so we'll just have to see through the next 2 laps if he still can hold pace with him. But it's been up and down for everybody in this field in this second heat race. Simmer to the inside on Rakowski. Mid-corner, can't close the deal.
If I'm Klaus, I'm teammates with Evan. I'm gonna let him have it. I'm not gonna race him too hard. I know I'm not as fast as Kieran, so I'd be letting my teammate, who is, definitely have all the advantage.
Rakowski locks up in third, so did Simmer. And if it holds and MacFarlane has the second place on the grid, that start for the feature is going to be pretty interesting, like we have seen all season long. MacFarlane, Kreutzer, as the battles pretty much have evened out for the most part. Like we said, 2025A restarting in about March. That doesn't mean that NASA Sim Racing won't have anything to compete for, as we have the World Rally Challenge with EA Sports WRC popping back up for 2024B. So all the information at nasasimracing.com, and see if Brenner Del Mar can make it 2 championships in a row in our second game that we are having some fun with in NASA Sim Racing. Stage rallying, super fun with the WRC2 platform on that game. And MacFarlane last lap 57.8 to a 58.2 for Klaus, Bryan.
Yeah, Evan's putting it to Klaus. They're barring anything crazy, this race is over. They've all spread out enough to where just pretty much run your lap, don't make a mistake, and be in the LCQ if that's where you're going, and congratulations if you transferred.
Final corner. Double defending world champion Evan MacFarlane will win heat number 2. Had a little bit of a scare with a slowdown on lap 1, persevered, takes the win, and lines up alongside Kieran Liflander, transferring to Klaus Kreutzer, best of the rest, Rakowski and Simmer. As our third and final heat race of the evening, Zach Blanche, Josh Darnell, Matthew Lindy, Renee Sotens. We've got 2 NASA Rallycross Contenders champions in this heat race. We have the outgoing one of Lindy and the elect of Darnell. Zach Blanche and Renee Sotens making up the rest of that order. 2 Fords on the front row with 2 Subarus.
On Sunday night, I gave him and took away the trophy so many times because we just could not figure out if he actually won or not the series due to drop weeks. But in the end, we figured out, yes, he is indeed the champion elect, as French champion.
And becomes, I think, the ticker will say 19th different champion, I think. Could be wrong on that in the history of the Contenders series. We get ready for Heat 3 in Navarra. Green flag. Sotens got a great run. Darnell comes across. Sotens through the middle. What a jump for the Dutchman in the 157. Wow. compared to Lindy and Darnell, smoked the Contenders champions off the line. Down to the first corner. Blanche. Sotens runs wide. Commentator's curse. Darnell takes the spot ahead of Lindy. And I think this battle between these Contenders champions is going to be really good for the transfer, Brian.
Yeah, it should be really spicy. Zach Blanche should be able to just get away. But we don't know. He's been pretty average on pace along Darnell and Lindy. They are both incredibly fast. So we could see it all come together here.
As turn 6 for the first time. We've got the Australian Blanche, the Maryland driver Darnell, Californian Lindy, and the Dutchman Sotens. Sotens to the pit. Oh, was it a jump start for the 157?
Must have been. And this track will not give you a penalty. This track will definitely take it away.
Blanche, Darnell, and Lindy and Sotens consider him out of heat number 3.
Oh, let's go see if we can rewatch that start.
Let's go back and take a look. Easy to drop the clutch a little bit too early. And that was a really good start. Too good, according to the stewards, for Renee Sotens. Not missing anything on the track right now.
Oh, he rolled backwards.
Oh.
He rolled backwards. Yep.
Let's head up front, Brian, to live pictures, because we've got a battle for the lead brewing between Zach Blanche and Josh Darnell. As these two got really close in the turn 6 hairpin. Running it wide is Blanche. Darnell runs wide as well. Sotens still suffering the black flag. Not sure why, as he's just deciding to do a little gymkhana as well. Darnell slipstreaming down the front straightaway. Fastest lap for Blanche, 58.623. 58.1 for Darnell. Resets that lap to the inside into turn 3. Goes Josh Darnell in the 0.29. Car length between them. As we round turn 4 into turn 5. Like I said, you have to lift ever so slightly. Very, very bumpy mid-corner with various surface transitions. And now down to turn 6. Gap is 0.6 of a second from Blanche to Darnell. Sotens is just having some gymkhana sessions. I don't think they're going to run into him, though, as we come to 2 laps to go.
No, they're well behind him. They're about half track away.
As let's take a look at the lap times as they come by. 58.206, 58.466, 58.8 for Lindy. So Blanche fastest lap in the 222 again, as it doesn't look like fastest lap was counted by Darnell. I think he might have gone off track. Looks to the inside in turn 3. Blanche had the run off the corner. And there's starting to be dust kicked up in turn 4 there, Brian. And we're not going to clean up the track. At least I don't think we are.
I think we are.
So you might.
I don't know.
Darnell looks to the inside.
He's going to make
side by side, hits the curb, and they touch. Teammates, remember. They touch mid-corner in turn 6, and Darnell to the lead.
Well, we did say, Josh, remember in the drivers' meeting before this, we did say, remember, this is still technically a rallycross race.
Darnell weaving, breaking the slipstream, down to the first corner, into turns 2 and 3. Blanche on the outside, touches the handbrake to get the drive off the corner. This is the white flag lap for Heat 3.
That's not where you try and make the pass, Zach.
With the dirt kicked up, these guys won't have best grip mid-corner.
Car is so unstable in that turn 3, trying to get the over-under there.
Into the final time for turn 6 on the
here,
outside, over-under. The Australian versus the driver from Maryland.
He's going to force Darnell to the inside. And,
into turn 7, Darnell's going to defend on the outside. Will Blanche go? Can he close it mid-corner? He cannot. Off the corner. It looks like it's going to be Josh Darnell winning heat number 3 ahead of Blanche. What a battle between them as best of the rest. Lindy and Sotens to the semifinal. They're still racing, even though the checkered flag has fallen.
It's fun. You get that close. It's a great time.
They're still driving. That's awesome. As now we head to the semifinal here in Navarra.
It's going to be a big one, isn't it?
Should be 7 cars going for 2 spots.
Are they still driving? They're still driving.
As they have now parked it.
Oh, and we're waiting
At
for
the turn
Renee to
6
finish.
hairpin.
He was about a lap back there. So.
And Sotens crosses the line, emulates Ken Block, and we now should hopefully be heading to the semifinal. And our grid: Yuko Pakala, Jess Rakowski, Matthew Lindy, Chris Wetz, Marcus Indrek Simmer, Renee Sotens, Robbie Kirtley. Is that all 3 no-control cars in this race?
That is all 3 no-control cars.
So, another 5 laps. Top 2 will transfer. The winner gets a bonus point, and the rest will be classified 9th down the order. As Matthew Lindy's game has crashed, we cannot delay it, Mr. Evan MacFarlane, unfortunately. As that's just a piece of motor racing. It's equivalent to a mechanical failure. Unfortunately, car number 3 will be out in the semifinal. It's a hard thing to do, but I don't think real-life Rallycross would let you fix your car at the last dying seconds.
We've tried that in the past, and we've sent grids off accidentally. It's just easier just to
ride it out, unfortunately. Green flag for the semifinal. Pakala, great start. Through the middle again, Sotens. Did he get another black flag? He did not. Side by side, him and Wetz into turn 1. Sotens very slidey into the first couple of corners. Hits the brakes. Here comes Simmer in the 4. Locks up, rips the handbrake, trying to battle Wetz. Pakala, Rakowski. Sotens. Wetz, Kirtley, Simmer. As Lindy is reconnected, but he will be a lap down in car number 3. But if everybody wads it up like they did in the Futures final, who knows what'll happen. Sotens to the inside, too far back on Rakowski there.
I think Kirtley might be trying to pull the move here on the last turn on Wetz.
His final corner for the first time.
And there it is.
Kirtley looks inside. Wetz a little bit off the road. Pakala leads at the end of the first lap by 1.2 seconds ahead of Rakowski, who's half a second up on Sotens. We're side by side, Kirtley and Wetz in the 024 and the 71. Rakowski slides it off the road, goes Pakala. To the inside comes Sotens in the 157. Here comes Kirtley as well, as on the racing line is Pakala, as Kirtley and Rakowski touch. This is getting good. The teammates battling. I'm not sure if the black flag is cleared for Pakala. It is. So now Sotens leads. Here comes Rakowski, and the semifinal's getting good. Are we going to be 4 wide? Rakowski comes across. Wetz has to back out of it. Wetz slides it. Compromised. Sotens wide in the corner. I'm not sure what Rakowski was thinking. The spotter should have said something about the 71 being there. Sotens lead Pakala.
She was clear. I think she scared him. She cut off as soon as it said clear, and they didn't touch. I just watched Wetz go, oh no, she's right there, and maybe jerked the wheel a little too much.
So, 59.7 for Sotens. The lap times really don't matter right now. We've got 3 laps, and it's a no control. No control is controlling the transfers right now. Robbie Kirtley beat
front end damage.
As Robbie has massive damage on the 024. Indrek Simmer battling with Wetz. Here comes Rakowski. I'm trying to give you a moment, but the 3 no-control cars are not allowing me to. They're going to be 3 wide down to turn 6. Rakowski on the outside, deep on the brakes. Sotens backs out of it. Pakala to the lead. Sotens on the curb. Kirtley touches his teammate.
I think Jess is actually faster than at least Kirtley and Sotens here, but they're just running block defense.
Sotens Block passes the 999. We've lost Matthew Lindy again. Rakowski off the road, no penalty, 2 laps to go for Pakala.
Well, Josh, what I was trying to say is I was very impressed that Kirtley took side contact a couple laps ago coming through turn 3, almost looped the car sideways, just managed to save it. Jess Rakowski in the backfield just sliding, cooking the tires a little bit, losing her position. It looks looking like lap 4. They hold it. It's going to be with no control 1, 2, 3.
Lap and a half. One of these no control cars are going to have to go home. Pakala, Kirtley in the transfers. Soten's best of the rest right now. And Rakowski in the 999. Soten's locks it up. Rakowski looks to the inside. If you're Kirtley, do you race your teammate for an extra bonus point? Rakowski on the rear wing of Soten's. These two have history from the Daytona Beach semifinal. They came together. Soten's throttled up into Rakowski. Rakowski's had horrible luck this season. Out in the semifinal, out in the heat in Atlanta with a broken right rear. Crashed with Soten's. Crashed at Crandon. Robbie Kirtley sets fastest lap, 58.5. He was 0.3 faster than Pakala the last time around. Soten's, I do think, is holding up Rakowski.
You asked if you're Robbie, are you going to race Pakala? The answer is no. You don't. You've got the transfer spot. Do not try and pass him unless it's for contention for it. Like, you absolutely need that point. You don't do it. I mean, we watched earlier this season, Liflander was in his first LCQ ever, and he was in second place.
So deep into the hairpin, Rakowski to best of the rest. Sorry, Bryan, continue.
Yeah, Liflander had the transfer and threw it away. Ended up missing out on the feature because he had it. And he said, nope, I want that one more spot.
Final corner. It'll be Yuko Pakala, our 7th seed today. Kirtley 8th. Best of the rest will be Rakowski coming home in 9th. 10th will be Soten's. 11th, Wets. 12th, Simmer. And 13th, Matthew Lindy. Has some compliments on the radio. Good racing between these drivers. As the semifinal has finished and gridding is complete for the Navarra Grand Prix. On the other side of the break, the feature race in Navarra.
You're so interesting.
I love your browser history.
I like that you're not hiding anything from me.
By the way, nice IP address. I like your neighborhood.
You are so special. This ad is just for you.
I learned so many things from you.
You are so generous.
With your personal data.
Switch on privacy, switch off trackers and viruses. Go to nordvpn.com. NordVPN. Safely be you.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Absolutely be doing what he has to do. He has to go for the championship. He has to recover the points that he lost. He's down the race, takes the lead in the 12. What a move. And he takes the lead and holds it.
Side between these two in the turn one. This is going to get spicy.
Exiting turn one, over the jump to begin the first lap, clog at the inside line. MacFarlane contact between them. They are still side by side. This opens the door for Wetz. He can't make anything happen. From the 26, he has not won in quite some time. Dragster acing the entry to turn one, up Betty to the inside of Magnus, gives him a nudge. The grip strip on the inside, Phil. Wetz had a little bit better run, but looks like Rally's going to hold his spot. We welcome you back to round 274 of the championship overall and round 8 of the 31st season of the Overwatch Specialty Service NASA Rallycross Challenge here in Navarra with Bryan Sawyer in the production truck and also next to me in the commentary box. My name is Josh Mertz, live on the Automotive Sports Network. The NASA Rallycross Challenge is brought to you by Overwatch Specialty Service. The only thing more unique than your problem is our solution. For more information, visit osscenter.com. Thank you, Rob Hartland, for your continued support of NASA Sim Racing. Cameras all season on ASN, brought to you by Whiplash SimCams. Be sure to check them out at facebook.com/WSimCams. And thank you, Andrew Cardinale IV, for your camera support. And finally, the intro music for the NASA World feed produced by Alex Sabetti. If you like what you see, be sure to like and subscribe to the Automotive Sports Network on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, and ring the bell to be notified of our live streams on Sunday, Monday, Thursday, and Saturday, along with our short-form video content courtesy of Jess, Rakowski. And if you'd like to race in NASA, we have something for everyone in 2024, NASASimRacing.com. So, no past winners. This is a new race, so we don't have to worry about that one, Bryan. But let's take a look at some programming notes before we get rolling for the Navarra Grand Prix. Tomorrow, NASA Rallycross Futures and Lights from Barcelona, also here in Spain. The 27th of October, 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern for both of those shows. Josh Darnell and Ethan Halsey on the call for those. Monday, NASA Rallycross Contenders in Barcelona. Justin Robichaux, Bryan Sawyer for that, 9 p.m. Eastern. Torque Sports Car Series on Halloween at Le Mans. That'll be 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time next Thursday. You'll have Bryan Sawyer, Cody Erdman for that. And our next round for the Overwatch Specialty Service NASA Rallycross Challenge will be at Barcelona as well next Saturday, 2 p.m. Eastern. Bryan Sawyer, myself, Josh Mertz for that. So, let's get a little bit of predictions going. What are we thinking after what we have seen so far?
After what we've seen so far, I mean, we're gonna have one more car than we did last in the LCQ there. So in that LCQ, we got 4 wide after turn 3. So I'm thinking we're gonna have a lot of contact in the first couple of laps here, and then it will settle down and be more like the heats where everybody's just trying to hold on to their cars and maintain their tires.
as we've got right now in warm-up Kieran at a 57.419, Evan at a 57.493. These two have been battling, like we've said, all season, all of last season. We had the closest points battle in the history of the championship between these two. And Zach Blanche, half a second back on those two in the triple two. Klaus Kreutzer, Devin Hughes, Yuko Pakala. Darnell and Kirtley have yet to set a lap time. And just crossing 600 members for the NASA Sim Racing Discord. Awesome to see in 2024. Over 750 subscribers on the Automotive Sports Network. So much upward momentum for both entities. And one thing that I forgot to mention in my ad read, if you'd like your content broadcasted by the Automotive Sports Network, ASNTVUSA.com. As we are always looking for more partners. And if you're interested in helping out, I guess I'll put out a public PSA as well. Public service announcement, I guess. That's how important it is. If you'd like to help out and you can press some buttons or you could yap your jaw, you could also email us. We're also always looking for some good people. Had some reshuffles in the staff, so we're a little bit down on people. So if you're interested,
I need somebody with
buttons,
good internet and a good computer that can push buttons.
And maybe yap. But yapping is not necessarily required. We've got plenty of yappers, not a lot of button pushers, right?
Yeah. We have a lot of people that can say a lot of words.
Take a look at Darnell and Hughes here in warm-up. Got about 45 seconds, and they are racing.
Yeah.
I guess, obviously,
it's
get
fun.
the last
You're
bit of
trying to learn
practice
where you can pass.
before we
I
go
don't know
green.
if I don't know if they clean the track off or not for this, but we got a nice little patch of dirt there in the middle of turn 3.
I can't remember if I hit the command. I kind of don't want to hit it again. So if we have dirt on the pavement, I guess we're racing Rallycross, right?
Yeah.
We got dirt on the track, right?
I did say it's a Rallycross race before the race. So you got dirt. Congratulations.
Plot twist, the Endurance Cup ends because all tracks are covered in dirt now, unintentionally. So, warm-up is over. We get ready to grid, and Kieran improved his time. He's a 10.5 up on Evan in the dying moments of warm-up. So, this is going to be good. And Kieran pulled away in the lights race on Sunday. So, who knows? As we get ready to grid for the Navarra Grand Prix, our grid looks like this. Kieran Liflander, Evan MacFarlane, Josh Darnell, Devin Hughes, Klaus Kreutzer, Zach Blanche, Yuko Pakala, Robbie Kirtley. The Endurance Cup concludes today. The two kids at the front of the grid have been battling all season long. Everybody already on grid. We're just waiting for Evan. Then we have 10 laps and 8 cars awaiting us here in Navarra. We saw some incredible racing in the Futures race on Sunday. We saw some incredible racing throughout the splits, really, and especially in the semifinal earlier on.
If Evan can get this start and hold that inside line, we're going to have a brawl between lap 1 and 2.
As we just wait,
There he is.
Evan grids, 8 cars, 10 laps as we get ready to go green for the conclusion of the Endurance Cup in Navarra. Green flag off the line. MacFarlane does get the start in the first phase, but Liflander pulls him. Darnell, terrible start, side by side with Hughes. Into the first corner, 3 wide. Blanche Pakala gets turned by Blanche sideways. Is the 92. He's going to be back in 8th. Hughes in 3rd, right on the rear wing of MacFarlane. Kirtley to the inside of Kreutzer in the 024 to the 77. Liflander beginning to pull away. Half a second already from second points to the defending world champion. Then Hughes misses the apex at turn 5, very wide. Darnell should have an opportunity. Car length, will he slipstream down to turn 6? Darnell looks to the inside. The contenders champion-elect to the inside of the Canadian, rips the curb. No contact between them. Kirtley, Kreutzer, Blanche, Pakala in the back of the field. Gap is 0.6 of a second already. Into the final corner. Kirtley on the outside of Darnell. Thought they were going to touch. At the end of the first lap, Bryan, Kieran ahead of Evan, Devin, Darnell, Kirtley, Kreutzer, Blanche, and Pakala.
Yeah, we're spacing out a little bit up front here. In the back, we're starting to bunch up. I got a whole lot of red on the back of my timing tower for the back half of the field, and the front half
Evan
is
off the
facing
track.
out.
Kieran locks up. Sorry to cut you off there. Thought
that's
that
perfectly
Kieran was
fine.
going off the road. Evan
That's
had went
a
off the
bad
road a
feeling
pinch.
too when you watch the car in front of you make a mistake, but you also make a mistake, and you're like, I really had to do it right then also when I'm trying to gain.
As into turn number 6, Darnell in the 029. Kurtley tries to follow him through the open door, and
Josh,
Hughes
I'm gonna make
loses
a
the
prediction.
spot.
I'm going to predict Kurtley's getting a podium this race.
Liflander locked up in turn 7.
I think
Darnell
Hughes,
off the track.
Darnell are going to have an event the way they've been racing.
Kurtley has had some great pace this week, battling me in the lights race. Devin Hughes, I hate to out you, my friend. He commented in the Discord server in the JC one, and he said, I had no pace, Josh. I wasn't even going to battle you. So he is in the middle here, looking to the inside of Darnell. Darnell opened the door, and Hughes walked right through it. This is going to be a battle for the podium. 3rd spot on the podium. Darnell, poor run off of turn 4 through 5. Hughes misses the apex of 6, through 5 into 6 now, the hairpin. Hughes Darnell on the outside. They touch! Hughes to the inside. Here comes Kurtley. Did you predict it right?
No.
Blanche as well in the 222.
Kurtley had to be safe there.
Through 7 into 8. Darnell to the inside. Close the door on Kurtley. Uses Hughes up, and here comes Blanche. The gap up front is 8 tenths of a second.
I've never hit the button to add the 5th car to the battle for 3rd before.
Everybody else is battling for 3rd, side by side, looking like the start of the race. Down to the 1st corner. Darnell on the inside, Hughes on the outside. Kurtley sneaks to the inside on Hughes. Darnell off the track. Here comes Blanche in the 222. Takes the spot. That's 4 for 1. Exiting 3 into 4. Kurtley pushes wide. Blanche backs up the corner. Into 5. Subaru versus Ford. Now down to 6. Kreutzer, off the road. In the 77. Hughes has gone from 3rd to 7th in the manner of half a lap. And so is Darnell.
Eric Dubois,
This is about as good as the Futures race, Brian. This track selection, incredible.
Eric Dubois has called me a fortune teller before, and I think he might be right.
So.
Say Kurtley's going to 3rd. Look where Kurtley is.
Kurtley, Blanche, Kreutzer, Darnell, and Hughes. Spakula after the spin on the first lap. The gap between Liflander and MacFarlane is 1 second. That has not changed. So, Kurtley, Blanche, we're still going to focus on this battle. As Liflander 1.2 is the gap, it looks like. Locks up again in the 20. We're going to take cross flags. Blanche to the inside of Kurtley, gives him a nudge.
Kurtley. He backed off a little bit, didn't want to fully send him. Look at the position changes through the race. We got Evan and Kieran just right where they should be. Kurtley up 5, Blanche up 2. And Blanche had that wonderful run.
Can we go back? Can we go back really quick if it pops up on your feed? Because Hughes and Darnell made contact into the turn 6 hairpin. I'm not sure if it reflected. Hughes locked up and hit the Contenders Champion-elect.
Looks like I can see it.
Let's take a second look while we've got a moment. Hughes in the 60. We might have to go a little bit further back than this.
A bit further back?
Yeah, you might have to roll it back. Super professional, I promise. Gap 1.4 up front. We're not missing anything there. That is not it.
And I don't have it.
All right. Well, let's just roll forward, and we'll go from there. Apologies for missing that. Coming to 4 laps to go. Liflander leads ahead of MacFarlane. Haven't missed anything there. Kurtley wide. Blanche to the inside. Subaru versus Ford.
Oh, Kurtley, that was risky.
On the outside, there was no room for Blanche, and he made it work. Wow.
Kurtley's got a dent in front. He's missing his rear bumper, but he's moving.
Blanche is going to slipstream on Kurtley. Gaining. He's going to try it into turn 1. Blanche on the brakes. Takes the spot. Here comes Kurtley. Kurtley clips the curb. Not going to happen for the man from Virginia. A little bit wide is Blanche. Brings it back to the apex. And holds the spot. I'm impressed about Kieran out front. Confused as to why Evan has not had the pace. He was faster than him the last time around. Gap is 1.2 for the lead. Curtly on the curb, slides! It doesn't touch Blanche, saves it, and doesn't touch Kreutzer! Incredible car control for the man from Virginia.
I was gonna say we're about to watch a setup for a turn here. I wasn't or a pass. I wasn't ready for that one.
Wow.
Robbie
Kirtley, are you drifting with Matty Grove in Assetto Corsa? That was impressive. Blanche snaking down the front straight, holding the spot from Kirtley. Now Kirtley's on the back foot. 3 laps to go to get this podium spot back. Gap is 1.1 from Liflander to MacFarlane. Last laps for them. MacFarlane is up by about a tenth, but it's not enough. Kieran's got to make a massive mistake for something to happen for the race lead.
He's cooking his rear right, but everybody is.
As Kirtley again to the inside for third. We're coming to 2 laps to go. Blanche holding strong ahead of Kirtley. Kirtley was only half a second down despite gymkhana-ing in the penultimate corner there on the last lap. Gap is 9/10 of a second. Couple tenths out for MacFarlane. 2 to go.
Come on, guys. The draft isn't that strong. You don't need to be bobbing and weaving like that. I don't know why Kirtley would be doing it that much.
Kirtley braking on the curb. He's going to completely miss the corner and off the road. You start braking on the curb, it's over. Not a lot of grip, obviously.
That curb's going to push you out wide. Yeah, there's some draft effect here. Not a whole lot, but if I'm Robbie, I'm not going to try and chase the car behind me. I'm just going to try and keep my straight line speed. You are in the Subaru, Robbie. Faster on the straight than FDS stuff.
Gap is hovering around a second for the race lead. We come to the white flag here in Navarra. And Kieran Liflander is tied with Josh Klog, Dylan Smith, and Jakob Rafos for 13th on the wins list. He is trying to be tied with Alex Zabetti for 12th. And Evan MacFarlane, 10th down. 10th down that last time, though.
Yeah, just not enough.
And I don't think that will give Kieran the Endurance Cup win either, with Evan finishing second. But we'll just have to wait. We still focus on the battle for third. Between Blanche and Kirtley.
We're going to see a move here on 6.
Absolutely.
I think Kirtley's either taking third or taking last.
Send it or bring the steering wheel home is the mentality for Robbie Kirtley. Down to turn 6. Will Kirtley deep on the brakes, tries to brake on the curb again. Blanche a little bit wide. Here comes Kirtley. Up front, Kieran Liflander, uncontested, will win in Navarra. MacFarlane will come home in second. I think that'll clinch the Endurance Cup for him. Off the final corner, Zach Blanche will hold off Robbie Kirtley as Blanche comes home in the third spot. Kirtley fourth. Kreutzer fifth impressive run. Darnell sixth. Hughes seventh. And Pakala in eighth. And it is again 4-4 for the championship contenders in race wins this season. And another victory for Kieran Liflander. As we've got Liflander in the media pen, Brian. We could begin interviews a little bit early if you'd like.
Yeah, let's start with Kieran because I have a hard out today, so.
As we're a little bit short on time, we're going to bring in Kieran Liflander and let me know, Brian, when you are ready. And I think
I'm ready.
I think we're good to go. Kieran, it's Josh and Brian. You got us?
Yes, sir.
Quick interview this evening because we're a little short on time. Just talk me through your race and talk me through your thoughts on the last 2 rounds of the season.
Yeah, I mean, I've been practicing with the team and mainly myself, just solo testing for the past 2 months. Since July 5th is when I put my first laps down. I was at a 58.5, so really impressive by me and the team to be able to break down second and a half in that time frame. And yeah, I already knew from the get-go whenever I laid those fast laps down in practice. Didn't expect that speed from Evan because he was a bit slower about a week or two ago, but he picked up some pace and yeah, just laid a solid qualifying lap down, no pressure. Same thing with the heat, won that, and yeah, long run speed was pretty tough here in the feature with the track temp being so hot.
Alrighty, my friend. Good run for you. Anyone you'd like to thank for another win this season?
Yeah, I'd like to thank everybody at KLR. My girlfriend, she's been supporting me a ton, and yeah, mom and dad also doing the same. And I don't believe Athena and Austin are going to be able to make it in the last 2 rounds of the season. Haven't heard back from them yet. Hope they're all good. But yeah, well, I don't know if we're in contention for the championship this season, but we'll see what we can do in these last 2 rounds, being Fast and Knock Hill and Barcelona.
Unofficially, according to what I'm looking at, you are 8 points down as we enter Barcelona. So it's all to play for, as we say, my friend. Good run, and we will see you next week.
Thank you.
As a race winner, really quick, we're going to hang out for just a moment and see if we can pick up Evan or Zach Blanche. I'm going to be honest on a live call. I did not hear what you were saying internally to me, Bryan. Something about points.
Oh, Evan got third in the Evan secured third in the endurance results.
Evan
So
secured.
the endurance results are actually
Kieran,
Evan MacFarlane P1, Zach Blanche P2, and Kieran Liflander P3.
So a podium result for him. So we're going to hang out for just a minute. We got Zach Blanche in here. And whenever you're ready, Bryan, we'll bring him in.
Yeah, we're good.
As we got Zach Blanche. It's Josh and Bryan in the booth. You got us?
Yeah, I got yous.
We're a little bit crunched for time, my friends, so I just have one question, and that is talk me through your race. Because that was crazy for third.
Ridiculous race. This track put on way more fun than what I thought it would. I think I killed Jocko. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I'm not sure. We went 3 wide into turn 1, and I tried to just bail out because I was not gonna get run over. And I think we just caught like my front left into his right rear, which spun him. But after that, I guess the draft was just insane and just was able to bring me back to the back of every car. And I think I gave Robbie's rear end a bit of a bump coming into the hairpin, but he seemed to recover fine and everything went well. So it was just some bloody amazing racing. And even the heat race, Josh put up some ridiculous racing. So that was a hell of a lot of fun.
I'm going to do a shameless plug during your interview. If you want to watch some crazy racing, I don't know if you watched the lower splits of NASA. Go watch the Futures race from Sunday, the Futures feature. It was incredible stuff. Incredible here at Navarra. Anyone you'd like to thank for your P3, my friend?
Yeah, huge thanks to TWRS guys. Like always, they've been a huge help. Evan, Matt, Eric, I'm not sure, Josh, all those guys that show up every week and give a hand. They've been amazing. So.
Alrighty, my friend. Good run, and we will see you next week in Barcelona.
See you guys. Thank you.
Absolutely. One last interview, a little bit out of order, because like I said, we're a little bit crunched for time. We got Evan MacFarlane, who is still the championship leader, wins the Endurance Cup. And Evan, you got me and Bryan in the booth?
Yep.
We got one quick question for you, and it is talk me through your race.
Yeah, so, I mean, I had, like, no expectation in this race. I really did know where everyone was gonna be, so I was just like, "You know what? I'm gonna try my best, try to dial in this up as best as I can, and we'll see where we go from there." So, yeah, I was kinda shocked or just excited in practice because I went a little bit faster, but Kieran got me in qualifying. I got 2 X's on the first lap and third lap, and now he just put it down a burner. So my mindset was just to try to get the best position I can in the heat race, and well, I ended up getting a slowdown there, so I sent it a little too hard in the first corner, but it was all good in the end because I got first there. But Yeah, warm up. Just wanted to dial in the setup for the warmer track temps because I know, especially here, it gets really like it really affects your tires and it can really affect how you're driving. So just wanted to dial in the setup and warm up. Try to get as fast as I can. I knew the times were close, so I knew if I was just gonna if anything was gonna happen, it would be a strategy race. So I just my goal the future race was just to try to use the draft as best as I can to save my tires because the tire fall off is really bad here. Um, around lap 5, so I was trying to save my tires, and I saved them, I think, too much. I dropped too much time to Kieran, so that was unfortunate, but, I mean, yeah, I started closing in the end, made a mistake trying to push as hard as I could, but, yeah, it's just a good race. Kieran was fast today, and there was nothing I could do about it, so, I mean, yeah, congrats to him. He earned that win, and, it was a good race. It was fun. It was clean, and there was a lot of action. I heard it from the back.
It was super fun. As unofficially 8-point lead going into the final 2 rounds. Who'd you like to thank for a P2 result today?
Yeah, gotta thank my family. Gotta thank my mom, Marie, who's coming to support and watch. My brothers. My actually Connor woke up just before the race, so I got a little distracted there and got it late. But yeah, just my family. My dad for everything he's done for me. I gotta give all glory to God. I'm so thankful for everything he's done for me, and I just wanted to just do good, just close out the Endurance Cup and focus on the next rounds ahead. So yeah, I'm thankful for everything my family's done. I'm thankful for Team Watson Racing Setups for bringing me on board. KS Industries, TWR Setups. If you want some of my setups, go check them out. Control Z Design. I keep on forgetting to shout out Eric, but shout out Eric for this beautiful paint, especially on the Fiestas. And yeah, I mean, I'd like to thank Marvin Sports, True Speed, Malin, Fluid Logic, and just all the guys at TWRS. Eric, Zach, James, Marcos, Josh, Robbie, Matthew, and yeah, thank you. Oh my goodness, I can't speak. Sorry. Thank you guys for putting on the show.
Absolutely, my friend. Good run, good win, and we'll see you next week in Barcelona.
Yep. See ya.
Alrighty, so let's get a quick look at the classification again before we take a look at unofficial points, and we close this one up. Kieran Liflander wins ahead of Evan MacFarlane, Zach Blanche on the podium. Robbie Kirtley, Klaus Kreutzer, Josh Darnell, Devin Hughes, and Yuko Pakala rounded out the order in the feature. And the best of the rest from the semifinal, 9th through 13th, Jess Rakowski, Renee Sotens, Chris Wetz, Marcus Indrek-Simmer, and Matthew Lindy. Let's take a look unofficially at the Drivers' Championship, exiting Navarra and heading to Barcelona. The red plate will remain in Evan MacFarlane's possession by 8 points over Kieran Liflander, Yuko Pakala, Palacio Blanche top 5, Darnell Kirtley, Rakowski, Sotens, and Heiskanen the top 10. The Constructors' Championship, TWR Subi Squad, like I said, I want to say unofficially they've clinched, but I'd have to do some math and confirm that. But it's over 100 points.
They have to have. I mean,
I'm just going to claim that it's clinched.
Yeah.
So really quickly, if I've got my stat book in hand, which I always do, this will be the 4th Constructors' Championship for TWR Subi Squad. They remain 3rd all-time on that list. As you can take a look, No Control, JC Sim Sports, Slapex, TWR again, down the order to Underfunded Motorsports. Subaru, Ford, Volkswagen, the Manufacturers' Championship, that's been clinched and dusted a long time ago. That's the 22nd championship for the Japanese manufacturer in the NASA Rallycross Challenge. And we'll go over some programming notes, some sponsor plugs, final thoughts. You've got 7 minutes, Bryan Sawyer. So, the NASA Rallycross Challenge brought to you by Overwatch Specialty Service. The only thing more unique than your problem is our solution. I'm doing this a little bit backwards, but we're figuring it out. For more information, visit OSScenter.com. Thank you, Rob Hartland, for your continued support of NASA Sim Racing. Cameras all season on ASN, brought to you by Whiplash SimCams. Be sure to check them out at facebook.com/WSimCams. And thank you, Andrew Cardinale IV, for your camera support. And finally, the intro music for the NASA World feed, produced by Alex Abedi. If you like what you saw today, be sure to like and subscribe to the Automotive Sports Network on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, and ring the bell to be notified of our live streams on Sunday, Monday, Thursday, and Saturday with our short-form video content courtesy of Jess Rakowski. If you'd like to race in NASA, we have something for everyone in 2024. All the info is at nasasimracing.com. If you'd like your content broadcast at asnTVUSA.com as well. And programming notes. Just kidding. Pull that one back. Bring up our programming notes. We got one more thing to do. NASA Rallycross Futures and Lights tomorrow in Barcelona, 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern. Josh Darnell and Ethan Halsey for those two shows. Monday, NASA Rallycross Contenders also in Barcelona, 9 p.m. Eastern. Bryan Sawyer, Justin Robichaux for that. Torque Season 6 from Le Mans on Thursday, Halloween, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Bryan Sawyer, Cody Erdman for that. And our next round, the Overwatch Specialty Service NASA Rallycross Challenge, next Saturday, 2 p.m. Eastern. From Barcelona, Bryan Sawyer, myself, Josh Mertz for that. Bryan, give me a quick final thought if you've got one, and we'll button it up.
You know, Josh is right. Or this track this week has provided a lot of awesome racing between the futures and the battle for third today. Oh man, everything we could have hoped for with the road course round. So hoping we pick another good one next season. Looking forward to it. These are two of my favorite rounds every year.
As the Endurance Cup has concluded and the checkered flag has fallen on the afternoon. From all of us at the Automotive Sports Network, from Jess Rakowski, Victor Valley, Justin Robichaux, Cody Erdman, Josh Darnell, Ethan Halsey, and Bryan Sawyer, my name is Josh Mertz, as we hope you enjoyed today's coverage of the Overwatch Specialty Service NASA Rallycross Challenge from Navarra. We congratulate our winner, Kieran Liflander, our Endurance Cup champion, Evan MacFarlane, and be sure to join us next week in Barcelona. But until then, so long, everyone.